maturing is realizing that the United States has been bankrupt for over a century. So what does that mean for you? It means that you have the ability to discharge debt using consumer law.
I need like 24 for the P, nigga, I don't do no lows. I need like 10K for the back.
What is consumer law? Alright, for the new people, consumer law, you being a consumer, there is laws, land, air, and water that connects to the consumer. That the consumer and people who are around the consumer must follow. So, to give you an idea, when it comes to credit repair, when it comes to debt, when it comes to student loans, mortgage, all of these things are a part of consumer law. Okay? These are a form of debt. Okay? But what if I told you that over 100 years the United States has been bankrupt? There has been no money in existence, okay, or at least within the United States, or at least when it comes to the money that we think we are getting, is the American dollar. We think that the American dollar is the money, but that's not the money, okay? It's a form of security, a promise to pay dollar. If you look at the dollar, it says that this is a promise to pay dollar, okay? A promissory note, a debt dollar, dig me? So the dollar is really just debt at the end of the day. Even that dollar, okay? Even that $20 bill, okay? It's a certificate of indebtedness, all right? Someone commented and said only a creditor can file a 1099-C. How is that when, well, you're absolutely right. A creditor can only file a 1099-C, but let me ask you a question. What is a creditor? Okay? Is the creditor Bank of America, or is the creditor you? Okay? When you look at 15 USC, no, not 15 USC. Let me make sure I get it right. 15 G, yep. 15 USC 1601, under the congressional findings, which is the Truth in Lending Act. You can actually go back one to Part A, General Provisions, and then you can go to 1602, which talks about the definitions and rules of constructions. Okay? The rule of construction says that a creditor, okay? Term credit means the right granted by a creditor to a debtor to defer payment of debt or to incur debt and defers payment. Alright? So the person said, hey, the creditor is the only one who can actually file a 1099-C. Okay? I can talk about the 1099-C. I can pull up the 1099-C and show you that we can fall under the category of multiple lenders. We can fall under the category of loan that has been transferred. There's actually stipulations and requirements for anybody to file the 1099-C. It doesn't say just a financial institution. Okay? An authorized officer of the SSN can use the 1099-C, but let me just talk about 1601, which is under the Truth in Lending Act. It says the term person, well, let's talk about the organization. The term organization means a corporation, government, or governmental subdivision or agency, trust, estate, partnership, cooperative, or association. So, to make it make sense, an organization is Bank of America. Alright? It says the term person, alright, means a natural person or an organization. Okay? The key word is or. Alright? Teach this and emphasize this many times. But the key word is or. Because as a person, a natural person, in the Constitution it says that you can be both. So that confirms the fact that there's a straw man. That confirms the fact that there's a digital version of yourself. Okay? Organization could also be similar to an LLC, an entity. So this is why Bank of America can be an organization. This is why Navy Federal can be an organization. But it cannot be a natural person. Okay? Person can be both. So now, when we look at the definition of creditor, it says that the term creditor refers to only a person. It won't show. I'll put it up on the screen. It refers to only a person who Both regularly extends, whether in connection with loans, sales of property or services, or otherwise consumer credit, which is payable by agreement in more than 4 installments. Number one, the point of challenging a company of their debt is one of the biggest challenges is where did the money come from? Okay. If the United States is bankrupt, then they created a remedy that allowed natural persons, to actually extend credit to themselves. And it doesn't say that a bank actually does that. When you challenge the company on a debt and you ask them these particular questions and ask them to provide a proof of claim of these instances, then and they don't adhere to it, or they don't respond, or they cannot come up with a response, that's when you catch them in the trap. That's when they start to dishonor you, because they have to omit information, they have to lie, they have to misrepresent, they have to manipulate you. All of these things that fall under the FDCPA as a violation. Okay. Under the Truth in Lending Act, they have congressional findings where they found information and details about contracts that also need to be protected as well. Okay? Let me see how much time I got left. 10 minutes. So we can boil on and talk a little bit more about the Truth in Lending Act. How you know it's a consumer credit transaction is, number one, when you have used your SSN. Not only did you use your SSN, but you signed some type of loan agreement. It was connected with the bank. The bank, quote unquote, gave you the money. It's some type of insurance, some type of fee. Anything that is drafted, drawn with the use of your SSN is a consumer credit. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the fact that fraud is being taken place. The United States went bankrupt and decided that, hey, look, we're going to create a remedy that creates credit. And the only way for natural people to actually get credit is if they actually give the bonds to the financial institutions like banks, to give the banks the fiduciary obligation or the fiduciary approval to actually be a fiduciary and transfer the money to your account. Okay? The reason why that this will be a sweet deal for the banks is because regardless if you pay money to them, if you sign a bond or a promissory note and give it to the bank, that becomes a security that is valuable enough to be taken to the court. To be taken to the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve will match that 10 times. Okay? So you apply for 10,000, they're gonna get another 90,000, 100,000, whatever the fractional code is. You can look at modern money mechanics and it'll break it down what exactly modern money or how money is created legitimately. It's not a secret. People think money, debt, and all of this is a secret, but there are books, thick books, constitutions, documentation that prove this stuff. Number one being the Constitution, because Congress recognized that the businesses within their businesses were taking advantage of the consumers. Okay? I won't sit here and say that the United States in its totality is trying to help every single person, but this is the most they can do. Okay? At the end of the day, you gotta understand that banks make the United States money. You gotta understand that big corporations make the United States money. So to an extent, yes, they can give you the information, but unless you become the whistleblower, unless you tell the companies and take action, you won't get remedy. You won't get results. Feel me? I had to hop in my bag, man. You get what I'm saying? Because the biggest thing I want you guys to do is take action. Become inspired by the information, right? Whether it's to fix your credit, discharge your debt, get started on your financial literacy journey, I just want you to get started. I don't care who you are. You can be 16 and you can be 51. Feel me? And I hope the right person is watching this. Alright? So, with all of this being said, United States, the banks, insurance companies, doctors, whatever the case may be, everybody is not on your side. They're not trying to make it easy. Learn whatever you need to learn. Okay? And if you don't know it today, you may know it tomorrow if you start taking little actions each day. Taking the little disciplines each day, learning the little things, taking an hour each day, right? Tap in, all right? More content on the way. If you're brand new, subscribe to the channel. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.